Brendan, congratulations. That was an incredible game, certainly for the neutral, but how was it as manager?
The same. I thought it was a brilliant football game. I thought we thoroughly deserved to win it. You're playing against a top team, one of the biggest clubs in the world who've got outstanding players. But I thought we really deserved the game. Coming behind is always a test of your resilience and mentality as a team, but I thought we deserved it. I thought we were really aggressive in our pressing, and that's much more like how we want to play and how we have played over a consistent period. And then our goals were excellent.
There were a few of your aspects of your game that you wanted to improve. How many of those did you feel that you addressed today, and can you hold on to that and have some momentum?
Yeah, I think in every aspect we improved. Fundamentally, in order to attack well, you need to defend well, and we were aggressive right from the off. You know, our front two were pressing, midfield behind that. Guys on the sides really aggressive, stopping them getting too many opportunities. And then from that's your foundation to play football. And then when we played, we looked really dynamic. We scored 4 goals, could have had 5 or 6 maybe in the game. So that's a real good indicator of the level of performance.
Kasper Schmeichel has just said that it felt like his old self, the team's old self. Did you feel that as well?
Yeah. We've had some decent results and some not so good performances. Obviously, it's still very early. We've been missing key players, but we've never tried to use that as an excuse. But for us, having the likes of Johnny Evans in that back was a huge plus for us. So yeah, it was much more like as aggressive, real intent in the game, looking to impose our style of football, and being a very, very difficult team to play against, and that's what we're about.
And just finally from me, that Tielemans goal, how did you see it?
Yeah, well, I've seen obviously Yuri score some great goals. I thought it was a great goal. Some people might look at it and think it was a cross, but I know Yuri, he's had enough of those crosses in the game and in other games. But you just see him having a look, and he's just guided it into an area, and yeah, it was a great finish.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you. Thanks.
Thanks to Brendan Rodgers. There's quite an obvious shared history between yourself and Brendan Rodgers and the clubs you've managed that, Martin. How underrated do you think he is and the achievements that he's gotten so far? Because with all due respect to Leicester, they're not Manchester United or Liverpool in terms of worldwide global appeal, or Chelsea. His name doesn't really get linked to those clubs, but the jobs that he's done, you definitely can't take it away. It seems like he's still suffering from when he was at Liverpool, and his name hasn't gone back up to that category, but can't be long now.
You said at the top of the programme, they're talking about Newcastle and names seem to be linked there. Then, funnily enough, his name was taken off that list apparently by some journalists saying that he's waiting for Pep Guardiola to retire, and so he goes to Manchester City. All obviously a lot of hearsay at the end of it, but I don't think in terms of what Brendan has done in the last couple of years, it's underrated. Yes, I take your point about Liverpool. You know, losing out essentially that slip by Gerrard and causing a major problem. But he goes to Celtic, does very, very well. Certainly domestically speaking, anyway, they picked up trophy after trophy after trophy, which was great, and come down to Leicester. Got a trophy behind him and won the FA Cup, which is really great for Leicester City. His only disappointment would be, I think, and that might be shared by those who employ him, would be just not getting into the Champions League, falling at the final stage. But that can still be rectified. But the owners have been terrific for him. You know, there's a new training ground as well too. I've not been there, but they say it's absolutely phenomenal. And I don't think there've been, the owner and the son don't think there've been anybody as popular in the Premier League as them. So they put heart and soul into the football club, and Brendan is guiding it strongly at this moment. So that can all be good news. So I'm not so sure about the underrating part of it all.
Let me pose this question to you, and this is purely hypothetical, Martin, because I don't see it ever coming to fruition because Brendan Rodgers has managed at Liverpool. But if he was at Manchester United, do you think he would be creating a more competitive trophy-winning team than what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done now? Given his track record, won the FA Cup with Leicester, their first ever, the trophies he won at Celtic, the fact that he's been at a big club like Liverpool before.
I'm glad, Adam, that you prefaced everything by saying this is a hypothetical question, which mean I can either give you a hypothetical answer or no answer at all. So that's unfortunate. That's pitting one against the other. And we talked. Gary mentioned something, and I think it was a very, very good point about when we were talking about Vardy being maybe Leicester's best ever player. Longevity definitely plays a part in that, and you have to be there a certain length of time. And you know what? The interesting thing is it's almost the same about managers as well too. So Brendan Rodgers has, for the first time at Leicester up until today, has taken a little bit of what shall I say? Just discouraging. I think stick is far too strong a word for it, just for a very stodgy start to the season, which I would think is really pretty unfair, considering what, they've won the FA Cup and nearly made it into the Champions League. So from those viewpoints, I will absolutely stand up for it and say, listen, just give a wee bit of time. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's been in the job for some time. There's no doubt that now is the time to deliver for Manchester United. It really is that there, and this will be a major, major test. It's a defeat again. And just when you think that Manchester United have got it all, they're going to do it, then they go and slip up again and lose the points that become vital. They have not had the same consistency over the last couple of seasons as Manchester City or Liverpool, nowhere near it. And you thought today, the way they've defended, that they're a million miles away. But I'm not going to be drawn into that. If you don't mind, I'll answer any other questions to you, but please don't draw me into one manager versus another one at this particular stage. I know how difficult that is. I know sometimes when as a manager, when I was taking some criticism from nondescripts, from real nondescripts in the game, basement dwellers, as I used to call them, then I thought that was really irritating. At least I have done something in the game that manages that maybe an opinion might have some hold, might not. Gary might totally disagree, but I'm not certainly going to pit one manager against the other in that question, if that's okay.
That's why we love these hypothetical questions. Gary, do you want to take a pop at the answer, though?
I've sat on this programme for a number of occasions, and I understand why you ask the questions you ask, but you cannot just uproot a manager from one club and say, well, if we dropped him in at another club, i.e. Brendan Rodgers, take him out of Leicester, drop him in at Manchester United, would he be doing a better job? Because, it's like playing on a computer game, isn't it? It's not real. And the question isn't real either. I think we have to judge managers on where they've been, what they're doing at their club at the moment, and if Brendan Rodgers ever ends up at Manchester United, then we judge him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in position there at the moment, and I think overall he's done a pretty good job at that club. One thing he hasn't done, and of course this is what they are renowned for, is he hasn't won anything, and Manchester United do need to win a trophy.
Okay. Well, the reason I ask this is...
Sorry,
yes.
Okay, so shall I turn it on its head then and say, if you had... Would Jurgen Klopp, for instance, who's done wonderfully well at Liverpool, if you asked him to go manage a team now in Division 1, let's say they're struggling, some side in Division 1, I hate to mention any team because I will get phone call after phone call and say, why did you mention us? Is any team in Division 1? Do you think that they would sweep the boards the next couple of years? I don't know. There's a point to this. Klopp and Pep Guardiola are great managers. They've also had lots of backing as well too. Just at a time when centre halves were at a premium, Liverpool go out and spend, 75 million on a centre half who turns their season round. Pep Guardiola in his first year realised that some right back wasn't good enough in the side, and then spends 55 million pounds on Walker coming up from Tottenham Hotspur, I think. So all of those things, when you have the assets, and to be fair, Pep Guardiola has said a number of times, I have great owners who spend a lot of money. That does not mean they're very fine coaches. They are excellent coaches. They're man managers. great man managers, and it's all part of the game. So I just think I was just trying to turn it slightly on its head, and I'm quite sure that Klopp or Pep Guardiola wouldn't have any serious interest in managing a team in the third or fourth division.
Okay.
But sometimes the better player you have, as Clive Woodward once said to me, realise how great a manager he was when he had all his best players available at England level. I'm talking about rugby. So there is a point about that.